Hey everyone, how you doing today? I really look forward to Thursdays because I talk to so many great experts on Thursdays, and we finish it out with Dion. How you doing, man?
Hey, Mike, this beautiful day up here in Washington. It's one of those rare days we don't have a lot of rain.
Well, enjoy it. I'm sure it'll be back tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, hey, real quick question. In this first episode, I want to kind of make reference to your Bigger Pockets podcast, where they basically kind of teased it, the lazy person or the lazy landlord or whatever it was. Really, because when I think about being a landlord and I think about all the stories, tenants, termites, toilets, trouble, not many people think landlord and lazy belong in the same sentence. So, A, I want you to clarify what you really mean by that. Maybe give them a little examples. We can talk about your binder strategy again because maybe folks missed that from 2 weeks ago. But I'd love to hear stories about being a lazy landlord.
Okay. So it's kind of funny that they called the episode that because I've always referred to myself as lazy. And that's because I'm the youngest of three brothers. I have some sisters, but my brothers run tree services. And working as a tree surgeon, I was the youngest, so I was the labor. I hated it. The work is not done until you finish, and it's always your physical limit. So I literally joined the Marine Corps because going to boot camp and going to combat was 10 times easier than doing tree work with my family. And a lot of us are motivated to get into real estate because of the idea that once you're a landlord and all your systems are in place, it doesn't take as much work as working a 40 to 60 hour, job. And so it's my habit to refer to myself as lazy because I work a full-time job. I love what I do. I haven't quit yet, even though I reached financial independence a few years ago, um, literally one rental at a time. And I am a single parent with three kids. They are over 18 now, which I thought would have meant that they were less work than when they still lived at the house, but that's not always the case. So taking care of kids and running a business it's just a truck driving school that I run with about 60 staff, 4 locations, takes up a lot of time. So the only way that investing works for me is to do it as if I was a lazy person. I mean, in every aspect of the word, because I love the saying, if you want to find the easiest way to do something, ask a lazy person, because they'll still get it done. They'll just do it the easier way.
Hmm.
So I have systems as an investor that make it easy. When people ask, how do you pay your bills? I have no idea. Everything's on auto pay. As soon as you find out there's a bill, find out how to auto pay it, right?
Okay.
And when I'm talking to agents, I just want the auto searches so that I can get it really simple so that, just like you say all the time, it would not work if I took 8 hours on a Saturday and said, okay, I'm going to focus and do this today. About 2 hours in, I'd be brain dead and then I'd be wasting the rest of the day. But 10 to 20 minutes a day, looking at a couple of deals, keeping the information fresh in my brain. And simple things like when an agent makes an offer, 10, 15 years ago, it was a stack of papers this thick with 15 signatures. And now you get an email and you touch it and you click through 10 signatures. I just did a video. You mentioned something about the problems of being a landlord include toilets, and that was the episode. Is the nightmare call of getting a call at 10 o'clock at night that your toilet is stuff up and you are backed up and you need to go plunge it, and that's not really what you do. You have a system, two handyman. So in case one is busy, the other one's available. Use the Thumbtack app to have contractors, to be able to find contractors and get quotes and read reviews. Simple things like strong leases when you're talking to tenants in the beginning to set those expectations so that a call at 10 o'clock at night makes me feel lazy because I handled 3 or 4 phone calls, and the whole problem that is such a big nightmare that some people actually say, I would never want to be a landlord because someday I might have to go plunge a toilet, becomes so easy when you design it around being a lazy person that I have 14 units, so I'm nowhere near 180, but I still self-manage. And I do think of myself as a lazy person because lazy translates as busy with working and the kids and everything. So it has to be able to be done with minimal time, minimal effort, so that at 14 units, I'm actively hunting for the next properties. And I don't get this little mental block of a lazy person thinking more units means more work. No, I'm super excited because more units means more income, more appreciation, more principal pay down, more tax benefits, more generational wealth I'm creating for my kids. And so the more I design it around being lazy, the more effective it seems to be.
Wow. So I just want to kind of summarize all that was there, because actually it's pretty amazing, right? When you really do get the systems and processes in place, whether you self-manage or use a property manager, it is a lot less work than most people think. I think most people would be shocked at how little time I spend on our portfolio a month, right? The active portfolio. I spend more time looking for deals than managing the portfolio. And it's been that way for years. So I don't know if it's the same for you. Is it the same for you?
It, it's almost exactly the same, because to me, looking for deals is a fun hobby.
Mm.
That's not really work, because it's like scratching lottery tickets. The next one might be the next passive cash flow. And in the first couple of years, I had some nightmare tenants, and I didn't have leases. I didn't set expectations. I didn't have any systems in place. And it felt like I was spending about 20 hours a week
Right.
with one rental. In 2020, with 14 units, I spent a total self-managing of 27 hours. And I literally log every 5 minutes it takes to deposit the one check I still get every month, because it's still a paper form, and any phone call or email that I do. And 27 hours a year is very passive when you're used to 60 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do the math in my head. That's like 18 minutes a week or something. Yeah. That's
Yeah, it's not
pretty,
much.
it's not much. That's awesome.
And
Yeah. So again, when I kind of break down all the parts because again, people hear stories, tenants, termites, toilets, trouble, all of that. And really what you're doing is, okay, you're leveraging technology that maybe wasn't available, or I mean, not maybe, wasn't available 10 or 20 years ago, right? Apps on the phone, online bill pay, DocuSign. I mean, there's so many things now because of our lovely smartphones that has stripped out all kinds of headache and paper chasing and all of that. So cool. And the next thing you said that
also,
go ahead.
Sorry, I mean, just think about the education portion of how
Mm.
easy it is now. And when you started investing after the .com crash and you started looking at real estate, you designed the wheel
Yeah.
for several years. It wasn't like you could just go talk to somebody. And now people can go on a channel like yours and watch a 10-minute video that covers a concept that could take 6 months to learn on your own.
You're right. Yeah. Oh gosh, you're so right. Yeah, I built the wheel, and first it was square, and then it was a triangle, and yeah, now it's a circle. So that's very true. So the other thing is, I loved what you highlighted is, when you run into something new, you kind of deal with it, but then you immediately attack it, right? You establish a process or a procedure so that the next time it doesn't come up. I.e., you have two handyman now. You use a different app for other contractors. You read reviews. And that's how you get to 14 units, total of 27 hours. That's amazing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I say this all the time, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's this way for everybody, but with real estate, the first time doing almost anything is terrifying.
Mm.
I'm going to pay for an appraisal and it might not even be high enough.
Yeah.
And so I'm wishing for something to cost more. And once you've done something, though, if you approach it with the idea of how would you teach it to someone later, the second time is nothing compared to the first time. I mean, you almost could teach a class the second time. Is how it feels, at least.
Yeah, certainly by the third time. Yeah, certainly by the third time. Because one of the things that I've seen with all these units and tens of thousands of tenants now, I can't remember the last time I was surprised, like, oh, I'd never seen that before, right? Other than the state, sticking their big nose in the business and saying, tenants don't have to pay or I can't evict. That was a surprise. I'll admit that was a surprise.
I think I need to stop saying that in some of my videos. I keep jokingly reference that it's totally okay to do this, because I don't think it would ever happen in our lifetimes that the government would say you can't evict somebody and they don't have to pay rent. That's just too unbelievable to ever happen, except it's happening.
Right? Yeah. Come to California.
So I think I reference it too much.
Right. Yeah. Hey, so one of the things I just want to say is I love the concept. I think I understand why, being a lazy landlord or lazy investing makes sense. But really what you're doing is you're jumping ahead of the curve and you're going, okay, did that once. And now I want to do it the most efficient way. And I'm, you're a smart landlord. You're not a lazy landlord. Let's just change that. Let's just change the term, because you're attacking the problem right up front, which gives you more time more freedom, and more flexibility to chase the next deal, because that's what we're all after is the next deal. So congratulations.
Oh, I thank you for that. And I think lazy works though, because when Bigger Pockets puts the episode out as, here's the lazy person's way to invest, a lot of people think I can relate.
Yeah.
I would click on that.
Yeah,
but if they
for
put
sure.
the smart person's way to invest, I would think, oh, that's not me. So I
Yeah.
would have missed it.
Fair enough. No, I get why it's titled that way. I will undoubtedly title it that way as well. But sitting here and listening to it, I don't see lazy. I see well thought out, and really for me, it's all about freeing up time so that you can keep focused on the next. For me, it's all about the next deal and securing capital. Next deal, capital. Next deal, capital. And then you're just systematizing the daily execution, which is ideal in my opinion.
Right. And at some point, it even gets easier because with the systems that I have in place, I'm self-managing.
Yeah.
At some point, I'll get to the point like, you and other investors where I have a property manager, and I'll even systematize that. What are the questions that you ask for the property manager to screen to get to the right one?
Yeah.
How do I handle the calls when they come in? So even though it's going to minimize even that amount of work, it'll still take systems then.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I just want to mention here is you've agreed to put together a presentation for my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, right? Because I don't self-manage. You're going to create a presentation for the group that we're going to include in the course, right?
Yes, and I was thinking about teasing that I'm going through your course now, and um, and I'll be transparent. Historically, I've kind of been against people paying for a course because there's so much free content online.
Mm-hmm.
And I logged in and I was impressed with the website. I thought, okay, I'm going to go through this course. And then I see you talking. I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with this because I watch this content. And in one of the first few videos, you did something that broke my brain. And I thought I should have paid for a course 10 years ago. And I'm not going to take away your thunder from the course, but that is something I started using like immediately. Went back and looked through all the deals I ran myself. And I thought, why did I never do this?
Awesome.
And that's one thing out of just one of the first few videos. So I'm about 60-70% of the way through now, and I'm excited to get through the rest of it.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And again, the beauty of my course is it's everything I've done, everything I do. And what I've done lately because of the channel is I'm getting other experts on their domain, i.e. you, lazy, self-management. We're going to tease that so others can benefit from it. So I appreciate you taking a look and giving me feedback. And I can't wait for episode number 2. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
You got it.